With the increasing requirement to thermally insulate our buildings, housing stock and so on, we will take a look here at how one can use Caddie's smart AEC tools to create the plan drawings and extract the schedules such that we can determine the net and gross areas, listing the products that we're going to be using, even exporting those to Excel if we have a requirement to do that, where we can add other things in as well. So we have here a basic drawing. It is a plan. We'll look as well how that is actually generating 3D model too. Very useful when it comes to illustrating our ideas to the end user as well, so different treatments on the finished render. So we have a finished scheme here, and we'll see that we have the thermally insulated buildings. There's the existing wall, there's the new insulation with the render and the wraparound. So we've got the closures sorted as well. So all of this takes place automatically within the Caddie system with the walls designated. And what we're going to do is finish off a survey that we've got part done, add in some additional doors and windows, and then look at how we can add to that the external wall insulation and create the schedule. So moving across to our survey drawing, we'll see that we still have a door to add along with some additional windows. So we'll take a closer look at that area, and we'll go to our AEC tools and we'll choose the DWA. So we're going to add in a sash window here. So that's the size of the sash window. We've got the orientation for it, so we're doing it by center, and I'm just going to snap on to the center points of these particular walls. I can also place by locating it, so pressing the equals there, and 1200 millimeters, and the left arrow on the keyboard will give me my position there. And we can choose the door. So here we've got a finished door, a woodhouse type door, with the door shown 60 degrees open, which we're placing by the center once again. And here we'll see that we have the orientation to consider, and when I simply left click, it will toggle through the orientation options, and when I've satisfied that that's the one I want, I can either choose option end to move on to the next, or abort to finish the command completely. Having completed our survey, we can now move to the layers for our external wall insulation. So back to my AEC tools, we'll go for the wall. So here's our wall, and we'll start simply by tracing around the plan. So we'll just zoom out a little so we can see what we have here, and then closing to finish the trace. Go back to the save views, and if we look at the axonometric, again we'll see the building in its axonometric model form, but we see that we now cannot see through the windows because we've cloaked the building completely in our external wall insulation. So going back to the plan, we'll now introduce the openings. So we have our openings, so these for the windows, literally just selecting the centers of the windows there and adding the openings. So this is adding the openings into the wall, and then we're just left with the one for the door, which is slightly larger because it goes down to floor level. And there we have our finished scheme. Going back to our save views, we'll see now with the axonometric that we actually have all of the openings punched out. And going back to our plan, just as a reminder, as we zoom in on that, we'll see that we have the end closers for the windows too. Now if we're needing to replace the sills or do anything of that nature, then we could do that. Here I've got a different style of window which will just give me that extended sill, so there we are, and then using the clone tool to match the properties of the windows, we can just choose the style there. We're going to change them all for that, and that will give us all of our windows the same. We can then do a similar exercise with the door, just choosing a style with an appropriate sill. So there is our drawing. We have our scheme there, And the one thing that we have at the top then is the schedule. So to add the walls onto our schedule, so it'll list them down below it, what we need to do to just mean that we don't include all of the existing walls is just choose purely the new work. So we'll select our schedule style, we'll add in from the context toolbar there, the dynamic toolbar, we'll add in the walls, and we see that we have the full listing there for the works that we're about to conduct. So that will give us the listing for the walls with a description, it will give us the gross areas, the net areas, and any details about the wall construction that we're applying. So there we have something very, very quick, very, very easy in terms of setting out a scheme for including all of the external wall insulation there. And if we go back to the full thing, we'll see that we have the building with the external wall insulation and all the openings included too. And just for good measure, if the client would like to see a 3D model, we have that as well. A 3D model that one can apply different textures, different finishes, different bricks, if you're using brick slips and so on.